Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to all you fellow laborers that are kicking this word in sincerity and in faith. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash Barakathum. To all you sincere listeners, the Wadi Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Kaya Harakah Kadash, resting upon me to do this lesson. Now, this lesson is going to be about the so-called white woman and her abandoning of the so-called white man in favor of the so-called black man. And this is really in accordance with biblical prophecy. And I got the precepts. It's based off of this video I saw from, as you can see, the African Diaspora News is on my my Instagram feed. This man, I believe his name is Phil, not Phil Heath, because I know that's the bodybuilder, but I think that's the man's name, that's the brother's name. He brings out a lot of good information, and he switched it to African Diaspora News, which what he doesn't understand is that the so-called African Americans, the so-called West Indians, the so-called Haitians, and the so-called black people that are scattered throughout Central and South America are not indigenous Africans. We're really Israelites, and a lot of those people who we consider as Africans aren't Hamites. They're actually Israelites as well that are on the continent which is now known as Africa, that before was known as Ham, the land of Ham. But let me go ahead and play this video, because this just epitomizes the state of you so-called white people. And what's wrong with you Jakes, man? When you see this video, you're gonna get upset at Jake and the Jake man and the Jake woman. Let me go ahead and play this.
Talking to LA, we're here with
Emily B.
Emily B. Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, that's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive, and I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer. We were here yesterday, we didn't encounter that answer yet. Scientific.
You see that? So the so-called white woman, she understands that Esau is going to be exterminated. Yet what she doesn't keep in mind is that the male determines the nationality of the baby. So this is according to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old upward and upward by their polls. You see, so that's how your nationality is determined. Just like if I have an apple seed, if I plant it here in Sacramento, an apple seed is going to grow up to be an apple tree. Now, if I take that same seed and I plant it in China, it's going to be a what? It's going to be an apple tree, because the man, he carries the seed. Now, is it going to look a little different because of the terrain? Of course. Yet, at the end of the day, it's still an apple tree. And so these Edomite women, they understand that their extermination is coming. So what's wrong with you Jakes, man? You Jakes, you all lost in the sauce. You dazed and confused. Meanwhile, you got the so-called white woman. She's actively seeking after so-called black men so that her children can be preserved. See, this is a beautiful time that we're in. And what she acknowledges and what she knows is that the so-called black man is the alpha male. The alpha male is the dominant male animal in a particular group, right? So we're dominant. All right, we're made to be dominant. That's why everybody click up to come against us, because that's what you got to do when it's an alpha male. Everybody got to click up. A man tending to assume a dominant or domineering role in social or professional situations, and that's just naturally Jake. And like you got Esau, he watches videos on how to be an alpha male. It's got to be in you, man. And like myself, the first time I heard that, it was a friend. He referred to me and another guy like that, because I guess the guy, I had rubbed him the wrong way, and he said, well, yeah, it's alpha males. And that was the first time I ever really heard the concept. This is before I started doing the work or anything, because that's just Jake's nature. A lot of Jakes, because you have certain Jakes which are beta males, but the ratio of being an alpha male is higher amongst Israel. You see? Which is why, pursuant to the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, all these nations, they click up against us. They're confederate because they understand that we're the dominant. And so Esau, his woman is, in essence, she's waving the white flag. All right, man, there ain't no future in my race, but I want my children to go on. She want to have a little Mahomes, man. Mahomes, I should say. Patrick Mahomes, which his dad, his father is a dark-skinned so-called black man. He previously played baseball. That was his profession. And his mother is a so-called white woman. And he comes out lighter, yet when you look at him, he looked dead on his dad. So you have these different Jakes with Edomite moms. They're in the media heavy. So that encourages these so-called white women even more to lay down with Jake. And which that's not going to stop you Edomites from being exterminated, all right? Because again, that child is an Israelite. Because what Esau thinks is, okay, well, look, all right, maybe we're going to have the kids are going to have some sympathy and, you know, maybe can hold on to some Edomite qualities and, oh, you know, or whatever the hell you have in your mind. It's not gonna work, okay? Because those children are Israelites. Even though a lot of so-called mixed race children, or they try to identify as both, and some will identify with the mother. They'll identify as white. They're still Israelites. And that Edomite spirit that you want to have prolonged, that's going to get put out of the earth. All right, you're not going to rule. All right, the world is going to be ruled in righteousness. It's the book of Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and the people of my curse to judgment. Right, and she realized that, look, man, I ain't got no skin. I ain't got no melanin. All right, the black man, he's a melanated man. I want my children to survive because these Edomites know that they're cursed. They understand that. And they're really going to understand when the Heavenly Father bathes his sword, which is these nuclear missiles, in heaven, and has it come down upon Idumea. Idumea being the Greek way of saying Edom. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. That's how you're really going to know that the Most High hates you and he's cursed you. I like this Edomite last night. He was pretty much cursing the Most High and Yahweh Shai. And I wasn't mad at the guy because that's the spirit, man. He's doing what he's supposed to do. That's the spirit of the so-called white man, because he knows that he's cursed and he's hated by the Heavenly Father. And Esau reciprocates the hate. You're getting ready to get put out of the earth, man. It's going to be beautiful. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 27, verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. That's right. That's why she don't want to multiply with Esau. She understand that if she lay down with an Edomite, it's not going to survive, man. Ain't got no melanin, ain't got no sauce, ain't got the spirit. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father is against him. The Heavenly Father is against the seed of Esau. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. That's why she's trying to lay down with Jake. And his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. You see, his widows shall not weep. Why? Because they want to get with Jake anyways. Because they looking at Jake. When I say Jake, I'm speaking first and foremost about you so-called black men, and really all the tribes. All right, because Judah is the head tribe is more prominent, yet you got Benjamin, you have Levi, okay, you got Ephraim, you got Asher, Naphtali, all these men, and you see that. You got Gad, you got these women, they try to get with Gadites, they try to get with heavy with Issacharites, these Edomite women, and heavy with Judah. So when this goes down, all right, when these Edomite men are getting put to death, see these Edomite women, they're not gonna shed a tear. They've been waiting to get with Jake, because these Edomite women, they get ostracized a lot of times by the so-called white community when they want to go and get what they want, which is an Israelite man. And by the way, you Edomite woman, see you have this idealized, fantasized way of how it's gonna be. You getting with a so-called black man. Hey, in the kingdom, if a brother deals with you, you're gonna be on a very low state, because you so-called white woman, you're at the bottom of the barrel. Or you've been exalted these past 500 years. You've been the standard of beauty amongst women. But see, now that's changing. And now what are you doing? You're getting Botox. You're getting all like that ugly witch Kylie Jenner. All right, she's fixed her lips. At least she had Botox injection to look like a so-called black woman. All right, because the Israelite woman, those are really the beautiful women. That's the standard of beauty amongst women. So, hey, if a brother wants to deal with you in the kingdom, it's going to be very degrading. It's going to be maybe humiliating. All right. Because I know you so-called white woman, and that's for an actual Edomite. Now, there's certain so-called white women that appear to be so-called white women who are really Israelites. Because again, like the Spirit had me bring out at the beginning of the lesson, your nationality is determined by your seed. Like if you run into a lot of Italian women, they're real pretty, they have some tint to them, they kind of saucy. Well, that's because they're Israelites. Because an Edomite woman aren't good looking, man. They don't really get you going. But you have certain women that can appear to be so-called mixed race, or they can look white, but they're really Israelites. All right, this is the book of Obadiah, verse 15. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me go to the verse, a few verses before, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That's right. So you Edomites, you're going to get cut off forever. Extermination. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. And that's talking about both houses of the nation of Israel. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. That's right. So this is the word of the Heavenly Father. He has spoken it, and these Edomites, they see it coming to pass. They see it manifesting on the earth. That's why these Edomite women, they trying to jump ship. Yeah, so Esau, you're through, man. I see you more and more just deteriorating. It's a beautiful thing. Yahweh Ratazah, Most High put the Spirit on me to send even more curses upon you devils, and until you're totally annihilated and destroyed. All right, so all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.